What is a fashion trend you hate? 100% agree. I work at a truck dealership and they used to make us wear khakis. Even the warehouse and parts employees. It is impossible to get grease or coolant stains out of those fuckers. Before we just decided to ignore that rule, everybody was walking around with all kinds of fun and dubious stains. I don't trust anyone who claims to work on cars but has spotless clothes. Not a single oil stain. They're definitely not doing any actual work. Shit. You'll probably be the most trustworthy mechanic you know. I work on diesels and have to supply my own clothes. My work pants are permanently stained after 2-3 uses max and last me about 5-6 months before they're thrown away. I hate looking like a scrub, but I also hate paying $50/pair of pants. I always just sourced the cheapest pants I could and outfitted my closet like Inspector Gadget. When I worked anywhere I had to supply my own uniform. Even without an official uniform, working anywhere dirty meant the cheapest pants possible, just in a dark color. Wear them until they fall apart and just chuck them in the garbage. Stained, ripped. As long as the crotch isn't blown out, just keep wearing them. My boss once decided we could no longer wear our dark blue MCDS supervisor button-up shirts that came in a couple colors and gave us awful white corduroy button-up shirts. I was the night manager with no backhand person and part-time maintenance. I used to get as filthy every night to prove a point. They were also hot as fuck. The next year we all got navy blue polos. I won. Long sleeves on women's clothing that are too short. Most long sleeves end well before my wrist and a few inches past my elbow. I'm not exactly queen of the long-armed Amazons. I end up pushing the sleeves up on everything because I look like a kid after a growth spurt whose clothes no longer fit properly. WHO are these people with impossibly short TRMS? Most women's clothing products are thin and aren't quality. If I'm paying for a $40 shirt, I'd expect it to not be see-through or shred up in the Washington. Yes, I feel like I waste money replacing worn-out clothes, and it's so hard to find anything of quality because even high-end expensive stuff is thin and flimsy. This exact problem is how I ended up buying most of my clothes from adventure trekking stores. Brands like Patagonia, Columbia, The North Face etc. sell clothes that are made to last. A lot of the stuff looks a bit too trekky for everyday life, but they sell plenty of normal clothes too. They're a bit expensive, but it's totally worth it. I absolutely refuse to buy anything that I can see through. I'm not going to buy and wear a tank under a shirt because the clothing company wants to save money. It gets to 120F in my neck of the woods, and the last thing I want to be doing in the summer is layering multiple pieces together so I can go to the grocery store without getting arrested for indecency. Add to that the fact that you spend your entire day tugging and pulling at the two shirts to get them to lay the same way or not crawl up and down one another. The constant readjusting of the shirts is unbearable. Same for a lot of men's nicer clothes now. There are certain fabrics that are apparently popular, but they just shrink all the shirts up on the torso. 1 wash and I look like I'm dressing as Winnie the Pooh. 2 and you start seeing through it. That and jeans with short crotch to belt measurements, so I either sag or have a wedgie. At least they still have pockets though. Large logos. Ralph Lauren is the worst. I'll see a shirt I like with an oversized Polo Man. It ruins the shirt. The backstory behind large Polo Man is actually funny because it was entirely unintentional and just a business responding to customer demand. Apparently Ralph Lauren was the apparel provider for one of the more prestigious tennis tournaments, think US Open, Wimbledon, etc., and they made one-offs for the ball boys to wear so that the logo would be visible on TV. There was apparently no initial intent to market them to the general public. People watching saw it and said, I want that, and here we are with giant polo logos now. So yeah, oversized Polo Man is a result of consumers' bad taste. For real, I have so many acquaintances who go off on tirades about how it's sexist and oppressive and all this to dictate what your children, especially affab ones, may wear. Like, I'm happy to discuss sexism apparent in dress codes and corporate dress standards, But I'm also not letting my kids wear anything with ass writing. And it's not because the boys won't be able to control themselves. It's because it's fucking ass writing. The worst is when you think you finally found a plain old normal tie-dyed shirt and then turn it around to see it's got Bob Marley written on it in a terrible, huge font. I've got nothing against Bob Marley, but I don't like huge words, logos, and/or pictures on my shirts. And all I wanted was a damn tie-dye shirt. Thank you. Text on everything. No, I don't want to wear a shirt that says Sweet Angel and clothing with cities' names I've never been to. I'm from the UK and bought some cheap shirts from Primark a few years ago, and one of them had the name of some American university on it. A few months later I'm out shopping and an American tourist comes up to me all excited telling me he went to that university and asked when I graduated, and I felt bad explaining to him it was some £3 shirt from Primark and I've never heard of the place. My sister has a cropped hoodie from there saying Michigan on the front, and I have a shirt from Tesco saying New York. I've never even been to America. Sick and tired of cropped clothing. So many shirts these days are made to pair with high-waisted pants. As someone with a large bust, I find they just ride up and expose too much even if I have high-waisted jeans. I just want regular length shirts. As someone with an extremely short torso, I personally love this trend, but as someone who likes us all to feel our best, I would prefer if we could all just get styles we like instead of being stuck with whatever is going to be hot this season. I went new clothes shopping for the first time in a while. I was shocked, confused at the lack of variety in style. Even between 5 different shops, I was hard-pressed finding a full-length tank top. Oh, and the normal-length t-shirts on mannequins were tied at the bottom, displayed as a crop top. The way that so much of women's clothing has fucking unfathomable sheer panels or cutouts on it. If I'm searching for a woolly jumper in the dead of winter, do you really think I want it to have a sodding cutout at the neckline so that my delicate collarbones can get frostbite while the rest of me is nice and unfashionably toasty? Why the fuck would I be interested in a jumper made of the thickest wool known to mankind, with a turtleneck that could suffocate a 6-foot man, if it's fucking backless? I don't want a bastard t-shirt that exposes just the band of my bra and a weird 7-inch window between my shoulder blades. Why the piss do you think I want to expose 3 inches of random skin between my bosoms, in such a way that any bra would show? And if I didn't wear a bra, then an errant nip-nop might end up playing peekaboo. The number of times I've seen a nice dress which has piqued my sartorial interest and then I've turned it round and found that there's a solid 2 feet of fabric missing from neck to crack. Holy God. And they never take the extra fabric they save from those stupid fucking cutouts to make pockets, either. It pisses me off immeasurably. Crop sweaters make no sense to me. At least crop tops are meant to be worn in the summertime. They at least make sense for the season. But crop sweaters, what? I just want to be warm. W-irrita and K-top you and the-irrit. That's stupid. I'm not buying clothes for my clothes. While I agree with the poster you replied to and agree with you that there are lots of non-functional sweaters out there, like backless WTF, I always assumed the crop sweaters were to go with the high-waist mom jeans. When I wear crop t-shirts and mom jeans there's no gap, I'd assume the sweater would fall around the same area. Yeah, I have a few sweaters that hit at my natural waist and I wear them with high-waisted pants. All my pants are high-waisted. This seems like a very normal outfit, although maybe there are very cropped sweaters, like bra length, that I haven't seen. As someone who worked in fast fashion, I totally agree. But what doesn't get touched on as much as the chemicals they put on the clothes and shoes to make them look nice in stores. I didn't pay it any mind until 3 years into working there when I started coming home with breathing issues and breaking out in hives, and had to start coming into work with an inhaler just to make it through the shift. Chemicals like formaldehyde and sizing are really not meant to be touched, breathed in as much as our retail workers do, and it's really a big health concern of fast fashion. Formaldehyde in stretch jeans is the absolute worst. I somehow brought home a pair of jeans that reeked of it and no amount of baking soda, vinegar, sun, or watching cycles could get rid of it, and I would smell it on me whenever I was in a confined space like a vehicle. I must have been so inundated by the smell in the store that I didn't notice it directly on the jeans I bought, though the smell in the store should have been a tip to not buy anything there to begin with. Live and learn, I guess. I was sitting on a patio and a woman was walking down street towards us. She was a few hundred yards away. I heard at least 3 tables asking out loud if she was naked. I thought so as well. When she got closer, you could see she was wearing peach-colored yoga pants with pink stitching at the crotch. I assumed that was intentional by the manufacturer and by the women who bought them. If she actually had no idea, hopefully someone eventually let her know. I won't even wear an undershirt that's skin-toned, because the whole point is to not look like my skin is showing in that area if my shirt lifts. I can't get how people will buy skin-colored clothing. I see it often in colored jeans, leggings, and tank tops. My son picked out a giant puffy brightly colored trucker hat for Mother's Day. I look like a woman about to hit a Vegas pool looking for boys half my age when I wear it. It is my new look because he is 7 and I love him. There will be many pictures of me in that hat because he has demanded I wear it on our upcoming family vacation. My husband thinks this is hilarious. Expecting women to fit into clothing based on size 8, B cup 19-year-old, and then adding a centimeter here and there to create a size 10, size 12 etc. Yeah right. And sleeves are the worst. Upper arm width is partially based on cup size. So unrealistic. Tight sleeves are very much a thing. Can we please just throw out this garbage lazy way of making clothing sizes and actually make clothes for humans? Clothing sizes also vary from store to store. The numbers mean nothing, and guys get measurements for their clothing, which makes so much more sense. Wearing a billboard. For example, I saw someone today in a bright red Coca-Cola shirt. Literally just a huge block of text with Coca-Cola. Why do you pay money to purchase a shirt to advertise for someone? They had the matching red laces in the purse, so it's not like they pulled some random promo shirt on a laundry day. I used to have a friend whose dad worked for Coca-Cola, so he had a million free shirts that had Coke and Sprite logos on them. I remember his family Christmas card was a photo of his whole family with alternating red Coke and green Sprite shirts, because Christmas colors lol. I like to buy my husband funny shirts. He has one that says Manifest Dysentery with a picture of the wagon from the Oregon Trail. I got him one with a picture of a Nokia 3210 with that game Snake on the screen and a silhouette of Indiana Jones holding it. Why's it got to be snakes? He has one that says something about being a red shirt, so he might not make it. They're all nerdy and I'm not even sure he likes them, but they make me laugh. Jean styles shouldn't be in style. I look atrocious in skinny jeans. I'm hippie. It doesn't work for me. When skinny jeans are in style, it's impossible to find bootcut or straight leg jeans that I prefer. Just have all kinds of jeans. I pretty much have to wear low-rise jeans because my waist is really short, and it's been a pain shopping for them these last couple of years because everywhere just had high-waisted or mom jeans and I don't care to have my pants come up to my boobs. So, I agree with you. Why is it so hard to have a variety? Why do we need dozens of shops in the same mall all selling the same styles and nothing else? When it's fashionable to hate on a trend. Take a man bun for instance. Where I live, summer is fucking hot, and I used to have long hair. I used to catch flack all the time cause it was up in a bun. It was usually more of a top knot cause I wouldn't pull my pony's tail all the way though the hair did. But yeah, what's with the man bun? It's just a bun. It has no sex. It's fucking hot and I don't want my hair on my neck while working my hot shitty job, thanks. The kids' clothes are hyper-gendered before they have even gone through puberty and in many cases are smaller and slimmer fit for girls, sexualizing them at as young as baby age. Let's let the kids dress like the mother-loving kids that they are. I don't have a problem with wearing gendered colors like blue for boys or pink for girls, but I do hate baby clothing that has cringy phrases and words like ladies man or too sexy for you, like, It's a freaking baby now. Before I was born, my parents didn't know what gender I'd be born yet, so they decided to paint my room in green and neutral colors, and I think that was a good decision since they didn't need to invest in gender-specific colors before I was born. So even if I was born a boy or girl, the room was still neutral enough to not matter. Fake leather clothes, everything from boots to jackets. I'm freaking sick of digging through that vegan pleather shit pile just to find something decent, and when I do, it's genuine leather. Not full grain or top grain. If I wanna find that, I'll have to go to the biker shop, after going through a fuckload of ugly reflective plastic raincoat biker gear. I never was willing to wear them until I tried a pair of their flats, which don't look like their normal clogs. They were so comfortable. So when I ended up working at a hospital, I broke down and bought a pair of their work clogs. No holes, better tread, and I can't go back. I figure if anyone cares that I wear Crocs while I'm in scrubs at a hospital, they don't have their priorities in order. But they definitely aren't worn for looks, haha. Anything made with viscose, it's expensive, you can't wash it without it shrinking, and even if you take it to the dry cleaner it will still shrink down a bit. Furthermore, you can use other materials that are both cheaper and more fancy and be able to wash it more than once or twice. Seriously, fuck viscose and whoever came up with that garbage. What kind of viscose are you buying, and what are you doing to it in your laundry? Viscose is actually a fairly cheap fabric to manufacture. So it shouldn't be super expensive unless you're buying a high-end brand. Unless you have completely soiled your viscose, you shouldn't need to wash it. If it's wrinkly, steam it, and it will also help remove dirt and odors. To wash most viscose, hand wash or use the gentle, delicate cycle on your machine with cold water. Never put it in the dryer. If it's woven, you can hang to dry. If it's knit, lay flat to dry on a drying rack. I personally think rayon, which viscose is a type of, is a genius invention. I know people who have visited clothing factories in China. They will produce hundreds of thousands of items, pile them up, and then when they're ready they take some stacks and send them to the Nike, Gildan, Adidas etc. lines. From there they are given their logos. Tags and logos are embroidered, screen printed or transferred on, and then they get sent all across the world. They are literally the same items for astronomically different prices, all because of a name. Not so much a trend as an anti-trend. Cargo shorts hate. Why is wearing cargo shorts all of a sudden a faux pas? I used to work with a girl who said she was gonna throw away her BF's cargo shorts so he would have to wear something else. Why? I don't wear shorts a lot, but when I do, they're usually cargo shorts. They are comfortable, they are an appropriate length, and in the summer when it's too hot to wear a coat with pockets and I don't want to carry my backpack, I can carry so much spaghetti in those bad boys. I blame the brunies and neckbeards for ruining things like this. Cargo shorts were pretty average until they became the uniform for unwashed professional MTG players. Same with the trilby hats, they call them fedoras, but they are completely different things, that were popular back in the late 2000s. In high school we did a production of Guys and Dolls, so all the guys in the play got really into wearing our hats around, but then the whole tips fedora thing came around and ruined it. Brands. I don't get it. I hate seeing a nice item of clothing, but it's got an ugly picture of something on it. Then it turns out that the picture is what people want. I hate it. Just give me a shirt without ugly writing on it. Why would you want to wear something with Gucci written on it? My name isn't Gucci. Why is Gucci even a thing? Did they invent the coat? Because fair play if you invented the coat. You deserve to be a billionaire. But I just don't understand it. I think we call them plugs around here. People need to use the same consideration when deciding to get this type of piercing, as they do when deciding on a tattoo, because it's basically permanent. These plugs stretch out your earlobes, and the bigger you go, the more they're stretched. So, if you decide you no longer want them, then you're left with super long, stretched out, dangly earlobes. While I do think you are right that considerations should be made about that sort of thing, it can be surgically corrected. I still think the comparison to tattoos holds because it's going to take some effort and some money to undo it.